Hello everybody, welcome back to there, and today we're building bag number 2. From this angle it looks upside down. Of the LEGO Speed Champions Ferrari F8 Tributo.
Can I do something?
Okay.
Alright.
But if you missed it last time, I don't think you need this yet.
Okay, go ahead.
We built this on the minifigures. I guess I'll go ahead and put the tires together. So we built the we built the first bag, and we also opened up a LEGO Harry Potter Series 2 collectible minifigure. Not going to say which one that was until, well, actually I'm not going to say what it was. You gotta go watch the video to find out. So, I got a question for you, Dad.
Okay.
Favorite action movie? I think we might have already discussed this.
That is a good question, man.
So, how about a different question?
Okay.
Worst movie of all time? Yeah, easily. That one stunk.
No idea.
Because you weren't there to experience. Oh, I think I beat my score. Yay!
But if that movie never existed, then it would be The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace would be the worst in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like The Phantom Menace?
No one's first Star Wars movie should have Jar Jar Binks.
I like The Phantom Menace.
I like Georgia.
Jar was not that bad.
He was kind of weird.
He shouldn't be anyone's first experience in Star Wars. Plus, if you watch the prequels first, it ruins the ending of Empire Strikes Back. Wait, let me see this.
So we got so far.
You know, in the last video, I gave my thoughts on the Last Man Standing finale, but you did not.
Because I had a different opinion than you.
Well, what is it?
I thought it was a decent ending. It was great, but it was a decent ending.
I know, it was a decent ending, but it felt more like a season finale than a series finale.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me on that point?
Yeah.
It really did feel more like the end of a season, like, okay, when's the next one going to be announced?
Yeah.
But, I am going to be honest here, out of that final season, there were some really good ones. And my favorite of them was actually the TV episode I was the single most excited for this entire year. Yes, even including the New Year's episode of Doctor Who. The episode with the Toolman in it.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. One of, if not the best episode of the entire show. So, Can I build a little bit now?
You always build it, King.
Yeah. Give me a minute. I'm putting this last little piece on.
But here's a question. So which one are you on? 55?
Mm-hmm. Go to 56.
So, what is your favorite series finale?
My favorite series finale? Okay, no, I don't know.
I think that we're supposed to put these in. Yeah, we overlooked a step.
What's that?
First one of this bag. There we go. But yeah, what is your favorite series finale?
I don't think I have one.
I think The Office finale was really good.
Oh, yeah?
I would say that is probably the best episode after Goodbye, Michael. There are a few, like 2 good episodes after the departure of Steve Carell, but not many.
Yeah.
I'd say The Office finale, the Friends finale, and the Home Improvement finale. Okay, this is okay. So here's what we've done so far. Here's a question, Dad.
Okay.
What is your favorite TV show? Difficult question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, and this goes here. So, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask you a quick question.
Asked away.
What is your favorite of the Terminator movies?
I don't know.
Very simple question.
Yeah.
So, I've only watched the first 3 Terminators.
Okay.
Out of those, the second one was the best.
Yeah.
Here's the ultimate question about movies.
Okay.
Die Hard. Christmas movie, yes or no?
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Well, what you think? Going along pretty good?
It is. This is what we got so far. So, Dad, do you want to do some more? Or?
Well, I would love to.
Okay, we'll finish. Finish this page, and then I will let you build some. Okay, Dad, your turn. Unless you want me to go a little bit more while you get off your game.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm fixing to get on. Alright. Let's see what you got.
Okay, I just finished step 69.
Alright.
So I've been thinking, should we update our video on the Star Wars movies? Because we last recorded it when The Last Jedi was the most recent.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of should remake that video.
You think so?
To include Solo and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Because also my opinion on what the best Star Wars movie is has changed.
Really? What do you consider the best Star Wars movie now?
Well, when we did the original video, it was The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I've decided that while The Last Jedi is the best of the sequel trilogy, it's not the best Star Wars movie.
So what takes that spot now?
If I say it, then no one would want to watch the updated video.
You got a point there.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like for a while a Star Wars movie is my favorite, and then when I think about it, it's like, maybe not.
Yeah.
For example, Rise of Skywalker was my favorite for a little while. Then I thought, well, it's really too close to it. It's pretty much Disney just remade Avengers Endgame for Star Wars.
Yeah.
There are some parts that feel like they're ripped right from Endgame. So basically, if you want to watch the final Star Wars movie, just go watch Avengers Endgame. Right? Okay, I'm not being serious, but pretty much that's the case.
Star Wars is better.
Star Wars is most definitely better.
Well, there are Marvel movies I'd consider to be better than some Star Wars movies.
Never.
My opinion.
Never.
Also, I'm remaking my top 10 movies list this year
Is that right?
because I originally recorded it in 2018.
Oh well.
My opinions have changed a lot.
Really?
I think I said this in previous video. I think only 2 from that original list actually are still on the top 10, and the number 1's been bumped off entirely.
Really? What was your number one?
Why do you?
This was back in 2018.
Why
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
It's not on there at all?
Not on there. Not in the top 10 at all.
Wow. I don't know if I'd have done that.
I will say, maybe 11th place out of 10. You know, just barely misses. But for the 10 itself, the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking, there are better movies than this one.
These villagers.
The ones I will say still are on the list are, I am going to say the entries, not the numbers, because I don't remember the numbers. I think the only 2 movies that are still on that list are Back to the Future and the second Toy Story.
Really?
The only ones I would still say from that original list, because Infinity War isn't the best Marvel movie anymore. I count Endgame as the best.
Oh well.
Quick question. Which one do you prefer? Endgame or Infinity War?
I prefer neither.
Emma, you can't say anything you haven't watched either. But yeah. Which one do you prefer? Endgame or Infinity War?
Probably Infinity War.
They're both really good movies. 2 best Marvel movies, in my opinion. Apart from Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was really good. Did you like Winter Soldier?
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing. I prefer Age of Ultron to the first Avengers.
Really?
Apparently that's a controversial statement.
Is that right?
I don't know, if I'm gonna watch either one of them, I'd rather watch Age of Ultron.
Okay. Everybody's got their own opinion.
But Endgame is the best.
Question is a savanna and a desert considered the same biome?
No, it is not. A savanna, I believe, has to have the red sand. No, the savanna
That's a mesa.
has to have trees growing in it.
Mm-hmm.
The desert has no trees.
Oh, there's floating sand. That's weird.
Floating sand.
Floating sand.
Okay.
I almost just got killed by a creeper twice.
Oh, Dad, would you like to know the origins of one of the, well, the most famous word associated with magic?
Abracadabra?
Abracadabra.
Sure.
Back in the olden days, it was believed to be a magic word.
So if I said abracadabra, they would give me anything I wanted?
No, specifically, people used to write it down on a piece of paper, carry it with them, thinking it would protect them from a plague.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
It's a good thing we have advanced in the medical field, isn't it?
It is. And here's a fact that has to do with the similar sounding spell from the Harry Potter universe, which is Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra? The Killing Curse, which translated into English means "let the thing be dead."
That's nice.
And it really does sum up what it does.
Yeah, really.
Many of the terms and stuff from Harry Potter actually derive from Latin. For example, Voldemort means flight from death.
Oh,
Cool.
Which kind of makes sense considering that he does not like death.
Well, I don't know anybody that really does.
No, I meant,
No, I
seriously,
love
in the books, it is specified to be his greatest fear.
Is dying.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I heard a joke on YouTube that if there was ever a flashback to him learning about boggarts, which are basically magic creatures that take the form of a person's greatest fear, it would be his gravestone.
Really?
And basically how you defeat a boggart is laughter. There's a spell you use against a boggart, and you think of something really funny, and it turns it into that.
Really?
So, for example, in The Prisoner of Azkaban, they were going over it, and when it was Ron's turn, it was his boggart turned into a giant spider,
I remember that.
and then he used spell, and it grew roller skates.
Oh, well. Well, that's not cool, is it?
No, the point is it was supposed to be funny. But the joke was that when that spell against boggarts was to be used on Voldemort's, it would be one of those "just kidding" signs with his hand poking above the gravestone.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting.
It was a joke.
Yeah. I kind of figured it was a joke.
Anyway, like I said in the previous, well, not previous, but the video where I was building the Umbridge set, still working on reading The Goblet of Fire.
Uh-huh.
But I just finished up the chapter of Voldemort's resurrection.
Okay.
which I will say is one of my favorite chapters in the book for how all of it goes down.
Okay.
Can I see this?
Somewhere along the way, this is like, it needs to be the other way.
Can I see it?
It's the same as this one, and that won't work.
Let me figure this out.
I see where it's at. Somebody put the wrong one on here. Let me see that. No, give me that. Yeah, put that one on there.
Oh, I was going to build a little bit more.
We are at the 26-minute mark, Caden.
We are. We're close. That needs to be slid onto there. Let me see.
I gotta get it on there.
They both need to have two of those.
All right.
And there we go. I actually made them wider so that there can be two riders.
That's right. I think his hair is in the way.
Oh yeah, I think you might have to have the helmet.
Bam! He had big hair.
Yeah.
And there's the guy sitting in there.
Yeah. This stuff's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Probably need to fix the mirrors. That. There we go.
But anyway, that is it for this two-part building of the Lego Ferrari F8 Tributo. That's it. Bye.